Following 21 years of war, with more than 2 million dead and 3 million refugees and displaced people, the voice of the people is finally making itself heard in Sudan. Sudan's referendum on independence took place between the 9th and 15th of January. The question facing the 3.8 million registered voters was whether the region of the south of the largest country in Africa should opt to stay united with Sudan or separate and become an independent state. The population, 85% of whom are illiterate, voted by choosing between two symbols: a handshake representing unity or a stop sign indicating the end of the unified state. This referendum came about as a result of the comprehensive peace agreement signed in 2005 between the mainly Muslim government in Khartoum in the north and the Christian and animist rebels in the south. Despite significant delays and obstacles, the referendum took place at the time foreseen by the peace agreement. There were also enormous logistical problems: unmapped minefields, the civil war in Darfur and sporadic violence elsewhere, millions of refugees and displaced people. But still, the polls were set up and the Southern Sudanese people came out to vote in force. As a gesture of goodwill, the head of the Khartoum government, Omar al-Bashir, visited Juba before the referendum to meet his old enemy, Salva Kiir, and give his commitment to respect the result of the referendum. The significance of the poll to the stability of Sudan attracted the presence of several international figures, such as former US President Jimmy Carter, the former Secretary General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan, Senator John Kerry, and even the actor George Clooney, representing the NGO Satellite Sentinel project.
It's been 55 years of marching and fighting and dying, and today marks the first step towards independence. And it's not often in your lifetime you get to see the birth of a nation, and it's not often in your lifetime you get to see people vote for their independence for the first time.
Major international organizations such as the African Union, the Arab League and the European Union were also invited to deploy observers on the ground. Arriving in Juba from November 2010 onwards and placed under the responsibility of MEP Véronique de Keyser, some 110 European observers and experts were deployed in both the south and the north of the country, visiting more than 800 polling centres and submitting 1,261 reports. The preliminary results issued on Sunday, January the 30th indicated a 97.5% turnout, with 98.83% of votes cast for secession. In her preliminary report, the head of the European observers stressed that the election was
peaceful, credible voting process with overwhelming turnout mark Southern Sudan referendum.
A few days earlier, Catherine Ashton, the European Union High Representative for Foreign Affairs, had stressed the highest importance which this referendum has for creating a durable peace in Sudan. The head of the European mission underlined the political courage of all the Sudanese parties involved and the professionalism of the referendum bodies. If these results are confirmed, a new independent state should see the light of day on 9th of July this year. Before then, a series of important obstacles have to be overcome, including the definition of the border between the north and the south, particularly in the regions of Abyei, South Kordofan and the Blue Nile Delta, the status of northern people living in the south, and the sharing of oil revenues. But the challenges don't stop there. How to manage a region that has not changed for centuries, devastated by 20 years of war with no infrastructure, no access to water, no hospitals? How to create citizenship and build a nation on ancestral tribal feuds? How to overcome the single-party model? The SPLM dominates everything: tribes, refugees, diaspora, and share power. Despite the difficulties, the European Union has made it known to both northern and southern Sudanese, by the head of its observation mission, that it stands shoulder to shoulder with them in these historic times.